Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently paying off our debt at this point, a fairly prodigious rate. That is going fairly well. We are down to 132k in interest, but that diplomatic pact is still absolutely killing us. Hello, Heavenly Kingdom exists. Is that a Britain thing? Kinda. They owe an obligation to Britain. Interesting. So, we definitely need to break free of Britain, and we're just looking for when is the time for that. Now, this is interesting. They are apparently... Okay, they're not actually taking part of this. Got it. Never mind, that's less interesting than I thought it was. Okay. So, of course, they wouldn't give us independence, and their reasons for that remain the same. British Army power projection compared to ours, and our rank of minor power, which we can't change. Our relations are amicable, and there's not much we can do about that. And then there's that 100 base reluctance. So, I mean, it makes sense that they're basically never going to let us demand independence successfully, right? They are starting up this diplomatic play in Congo. This is not a big deal. There should be absolutely no problem whatsoever there. So we're just going to continue to pay down our debt here on speed 5 until such a time as our debt is gone, and then we will look at whether we can construct at full speed. That would be very nice if we could. But paying down this debt is absolutely necessary, and at that point our GDP will just start to soar. And then we can hopefully start thinking about leveraging France against Great Britain. That would be the idea. It's the only way, I think. Oil was discovered in Saskatchewan. Cool. And we're currently working on shift work. That'll be done probably around the same time we finish paying off our debt. 1.2 million, like 1.6 million per month. Okay. Yeah, that's going down quite quickly. We're down to 110k in interest now. So we've really got that debt snowball rolling. I like it. That's very, very solid. What else can we work on here? We've got some market access issues. Specifically, it is Malaya here. That's the biggest problem. Now, is this infrastructure fine? It is. It just has no employees here. Literally none. It's subsidized and costs 0 per week. It's hiring employees, allegedly. There are no peasants here, so I think there's just no one to be employed in that location. That's definitely a little awkward. Enact professional army, huh? So peasant levies is a 2% conscription rate. Professional army is a 1% conscription rate. I would rather go to something like national militia or mass conscription here. So I think we'll keep peasant levies for the moment. They're going to be a little awkward, no doubt about that. Our interest payments are about to drop below 100k. Specifically, I believe they already have. No, they're at 100k. Now they should have dropped. Yep, 99.2. I like it. I wish this tooltip updated without having to close it and reopen it. That would be nice, but unfortunately that's not how that works. So we're going to continue paying down this debt for a bit. That does mean that we're going to be looking at making about 500k by the time that's paid down, and that will be a little higher because we're working on all of these private constructions. I want to check in on our investment pool. Okay. We're actually working on a lot of simultaneous private constructions. I like it. I want to make sure that we didn't accidentally get any of these buildings turned off of auto expand. It looks like they are all on auto expand, so that looks fantastic. I'm very, very pleased about this. I think that we cancel these railways for the moment. And we need to be thinking about when we're going to be starting up construction again. So, as a hypothetical, 163? Okay. So we're going to be running a slight negative once we finish paying off our debt here. Unless our economy expands to the point where we're getting 163k in extra taxes between now and then. And also, costs on those goods will come down a little bit as these iron mines, steel mills, and glassworks finish up. There was a boiler explosion. We can have the rural folk gain some support here. I think that's okay. Cool. We have this trade route that is unproductive. Makes sense. And what do we have for unrealized taxes? 400k? Noted. That's very, very interesting, actually. So we've got 30 million left here. And that's going to take a little bit to pay off, for sure. Like I said, we're paying off at around, well, at this point, it's more like we're getting close to paying off 2 million per month. We're getting very close to that. So that's looking good. 73k in interest still, and we're making 442. The math is working out in my mind. I think that we're going to be solid once we finish off paying off our debt. So that'll be great. Very, very happy about that. The real question is, how do we break free of Britain? 4888. We're going to need to continue to work on our economy for a bit. Militarily, we've maxed out our barracks. So that's the best we can do there. We're going to need to, of course, bump up our buildings here to increase our power projection. And how much will that overall cost? 70k, 40k, 40k. Fair enough. We're running an electricity input goods shortage in the British market. Are any of those buildings us? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. Cool. So we're down to 58.3k in interest. That is going extraordinarily well. If we make it up to 550, I think that will be what we need. Plus 10% prestige from organized sports. Cool. I want to do a quick check here again. 129. Noted. That's definitely looking solid. So almost half of that is going to be from our interest here. Our diplomatic pact is hurting us. Absolutely. That's very, very rough. No doubt about that. But like I said, I think around 550k. And once our interest is gone, that'll be great. We're paying off about 500,000 per week. So that means 2 million per month, or around 10 months until our credit is gone. Well, now like 9 months. Beautiful. Oil discovered in East Anglia, huh? Okay. So our radicalism isn't great, but we gotta get this debt paid off. And then we're going to work really hard on getting our government administrations properly set up. That's going to be the plan. And there's going to be a lot involved in that. Absolutely. I think we'll put it at the bottom of the construction queue. It shouldn't take that long to get through this construction queue. And that will help matters a bit with the finances, but really once we get all of that completed, then that'll be great. So let's go ahead and queue these up at the bottom of the queue while we're waiting for this to pay off. We're going to need 70 in Bihar. That was 90. There we go. We're going to need 70 here. We're going to need 92 here. Wait. No, these are 15 now. Hang on. Calculator. 693 divided by 15. 46.2. That's more like it. Okay. So we're going to come in here. We're going to drop this down to 47. Cool. Then what are we going to need here? So that's 919. 919 divided by 15. Hang on. I needed to clear it. 919 divided by 15 is 63. Okay? So we'll put in 63. Then we've got 1032 divided by 15. That is 68.8. So we'll put in 69. I am contractually obligated to say nice. Fantastic. And then we're going to go here. 1308. 1308 divided by 15. That is going to be 88. So we'll do something like that. And then we've got 1341. So let me clear this. Clear this. 1341 divided by 15 is 89.4. So that would be exactly 90. And then 1492. 1492 divided by 15 is 99. Well, 99.46 repeating. We'll call it 100. Excellent. Now, there'll need to be a little bit more here and there, I think. But that should do for right now. The Great Molasses Flood. One tragedy must not stop progress. Okay. So, we find ourselves now with a credit of 3 billion. Excellent. We are only a few weeks away from coming out of debt here. We're at 558k. And we do have some expensive government goods. No doubt about that. But we have all of this queued up. I did put these at the bottom of the list. And we're going to resume this the moment we're no longer in debt. And I want to see what this is going to end up shaking out like. So we'll see. We are out of debt as of not this week, but next week. Okay, we are officially out of debt now. Let's resume this and see. $78K, huh? Okay. I think that we can turn this around before the debt becomes a problem again. So we'll construct at this rate. We're going to construct all of this economic structure here. And that's going to be a lot. We're constructing 3 pages at a time. This is currently saying 186 weeks on this construction queue, which seems reasonably fair. And we'll see what this ends up looking like. So obviously our construction goods are expensive, right? Steel, glass, tools, explosives. That's all going to be the case. However, we are working on a lot of that. And I'm hoping that what we see is not too much credit buildup here. We definitely have a lot of construction ongoing. No doubt about that. And Great Britain is stealing a lot of our earnings, which isn't great. We'll keep an eye on it, and if we need to pause again and pay off our debt, we can. We know that we're extremely solid right now. But I'm hoping that as we complete some of this stuff, that'll cut down on both our costs and our income, and we're coming at it from 2 directions here, is the idea. Cool. So we'll get through all of our auto-queued stuff, and then we're going to be, for quite a long time, building government administrations. We're also going to have to keep an eye on our infrastructure. But we have seen this drop down to 30, 40k. That's looking good. Our deficit is declining, and I love it. This is looking exactly the way I'd hoped, as of right now. So we've got 2 weeks left on these constructions, and, I mean, we've got a lot finishing up eventually. What is this, anyway? Great Britain versus Dynam? Okay. 20k now is our deficit. Shift work! Fantastic. That's going to help a lot. And next up, what are we going to go for? I believe that we are going to go for open hearth process for steel mills or dynamite. We're going to go for dynamite. We're also about to get the Steve Donkey, which is a very, very big deal. That'll be great. War with Dynam breaks out, and that's going to hurt our bottom line a little bit, but we saw it dip positive very briefly there. Oh, yeah. That's looking fantastic. So we're going to start paying our debt back down at a fairly low rate, but this is fine. Our debt is quite low. Steam Donkeys have been unlocked, so that is going to help our throughput quite a lot. So we're going to go in here and make sure that Steam Donkeys are set up. I believe those are almost exclusively in rural areas. Indeed. So we're definitely going to run Steam Donkeys here. It's showing negative right now. I'm not sure how real that is. But we definitely want to increase the throughput there. And in logging camps as well. Okay, so it's primarily because of the price of engines. Noted. So we'll need to deal with our engines, of course. We have some low market access. It's not that big of a deal. We could survey a skyscraper site. Sure. Go ahead and do that. Now, I'm expecting us to have an input goods shortage or just a large, expensive goods issue with engines. Ironclads are expensive. Okay. Well, for now, this is okay. We'll let this shake out the way it is. I'm fine with running this deficit for a little bit. We'll just bring it back the way we did previously. Cool. And yeah, it's already on its way. I'm surprised that we're not having an engines shortage, though. That is surprising to me. And Malaya definitely needs some work. It just lacks people, I'm pretty sure. But for now, this is okay. We're going to dip back positive here very shortly. All these railways are apparently being constructed. I'm not sure how necessary they really are. But we'll just get them completed. They're in our construction queue. So for now, that seems fine. This tea plantation needs to be canceled. There's no arable land for it. Same with this dye plantation. Okay. Cool. There's a vulnerable front that we don't care about. Britain can handle it. Okay, so our tooling workshops are going to be finishing up here. That will help matters quite a lot. We are positive financially again. I love it. That's looking really, really good. We also have this motor industry in Himalayas finishing up soon. Sounds good to me. Our standard of living is still struggling. I would like to change some laws here eventually. Nobody cares about serfdom abolished at this point. That's kind of funny. Yeah, there's not a lot of laws we can change, are there? Maybe having the workforce ratio would be okay. Our population isn't amazing. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get the workforce ratio. We know that we have at least one province that is having issues there. So that seems fine. There's an automobiles input goods shortage, apparently. Can we actually make automobiles? I don't think we can. Yeah, we don't have the tech. So that's fine for now. And another war. Okay. That's fine. Great Britain can handle it. They don't need our help. We're helping by paying them $562K per week. Ugh. Thanks, Britain. I hate it. So we're working this debt down, mostly. And we're finishing up quite a lot of steel mills, actually, are being worked on. That's a really good sign. And we're now starting to work on these government administrations. So that's wonderful. This trade route importing paper is currently unproductive. Okay, we'll get rid of it. And the government administrations are going to begin finishing up soon. We can definitely cancel the plantations that don't have the arable land. And excellent. All of this auto-queued stuff is going to be done very shortly here. We're slightly negative on our investment pool. Okay, now we're not. But we are certainly bringing in the finances nicely. We're paying down our small amount of remaining debt. I'm not concerned about that amount of debt. This is looking very, very good. Beautiful. So our government administrations are going to take a while, right? No doubt about that. I want to check in on our railways. So, yeah, this is in Malaya and Pegu. 13% employed and just 0% employed. So, these don't really need to be expanded. For the moment, we're not concerned about that. Arts Academy finishes up. We've got these 3 munitions plants and then a bunch of government administrations being worked on. So we're up to 122K right now. That's really solid. I'm very happy about that. We can probably think about expanding our construction sectors soon. Maxing these out to 25. At the very least, I'm going to take the one in Bihar up to 20. We'll be a little bit chill on expanding it too much further. There's propertied women. Cool. 5% workforce ratio. That will drop our birth rate. And that's somewhat expected. Somewhat. So the munitions plants are done, or will be after this month tick. There's still this one. But now we're going to have government administrations, and we're building a lot of those simultaneously. Cool. So 63.6K. I definitely want to make sure that we've paid off the rest of our debt before we finish off, or rather, before we expand our construction further. That shouldn't take too long. That should be okay. So we'll cruise on through here. There's this revolution for wage subsidies. Interesting that it's capped at 50, but this radicalism is 65. Regardless, at a certain point, it might not be a bad idea to enact wage subsidies. How much are we paying on welfare right now? 12.6K. However, I think some of that is due to our decrees. I believe that we are still doing, well, emergency relief over here. Yes, we can get rid of those. Beautiful. So what does that put our subsidies at? 50.8? Let's let this get a week tick. Wait, now this is updating. Okay, that's weird. Sure. Let's go ahead and enact wage subsidies, I think. This, well, actually, nobody likes this. The landowners are super opposed to it. Only 0.9% of the clout is endorsing this. There's not actually even anybody backing this. Like, no political parties. It would be the trade unions, but they're super non-powerful. So we have paid off our debt now, and we're building up a gold reserve. I would rather that we go ahead and expand our construction. So I'm going to expand these slightly cautiously. I'm going to expand one state at a time, capping that out. Cool. And as these government administrations finish up, we will note that that unrealized tax number is dropping. We're probably going to need a couple more government administrations as the tax base builds up. But we're definitely making progress here. I like it. So these government administrations are going to be finishing up in a while. How many pages of them are there? Like 17? Yeah, that's going to be a while. That's fine. We knew that this was going to be a large project. And I do think that enacting wage subsidies is probably a fair trade for this, if it had the political support. It doesn't. I wouldn't mind it because that would increase our standard of living, which would help us drop our radicalism, which would be really nice. No doubt about that. I want to check in on our legitimacy. How are we doing there? 79. Can we get that any higher? No, is the answer. Okay. So for now, this seems okay. We're making a decent amount. Market access in Andorra has dropped. Which, fair enough. This does actually need to be expanded by 2 levels of railway. So we'll go ahead and get that going. Cool. And we just dipped negative here. Let's see how permanent that is. This is why we're being cautious on expanding our construction. Okay. We definitely don't want to expand our construction for a little while here. Cool. Yeah, automobiles, input goods shortage, hilarious. So our government administrations are continuing to finish up. Our unrealized taxes are down to 297K now. Now 294. Now, how much of that is due to tax waste? 2%. And 8% of that is, well, this isn't really accurate. This is like 80% of that is due to uncollected taxes, and 2% is, or 20% is due to tax waste. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's going to be because of our radicalism. No shockers there. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to keep an eye on this wage subsidies revolution. I don't know if they're actually going to get any higher radicalism. They may or may not. It's going to be difficult to play the landowners against them, though. We'll see how that plays out. And we'll also see if we manage to get back positive here financially. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you, that is the wrong button, a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, Enlohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Rogue Corpid, Anna the Elephant, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.